Hello everybody, this is me, Amin.
And this Alex.
And welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About. So today is Thursday, the 13th of April, and we're going to talk about something I think a lot of people are thinking about, but not a lot of people are doing. So especially if you are a small business owner, a mom and pop shop owner, or an SME owner, and you're thinking about, okay, how am I going to get the next advantage in my business? How am I going to go further, right? And a lot of the talk is about digitalization. But digitalization is a buzzword. But what does it actually mean, and how does a business do it? For some context, right? So for the revised budget 2023, the government has allocated over 100 million ringgit to digitalization and automation adoption for small and medium enterprises. On top of that, they are also providing matching grants of 5,000 ringgit to small and medium enterprises if they are going to adopt digital technologies in their businesses. The thing is, we're not seeing a lot of movement in that space. There's a lot of apprehension. And it's understandable because, adopting digital technology can be costly, can be something that is time intensive. You might not have the expertise or know-how, and you might need to hire people to do it. But apparently there is a company in Malaysia that can help you digitalize your business easily, and something that is that you don't consider. Like it can be as cheap as you want it, it can be as fast as you want it, as easy as you want it, or as big as you want it. So in the studio today, we have Rockies Ma, the general manager of H3C Malaysia, and he's here to talk about how actually digitalization for small and medium enterprises is not as hard as you think. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, of course. I mean, and Alexa, thank you. Okay, thank you for inviting me. Okay, for this topic, and then it's my pleasure. Okay, to share some of my good experience about the digital transformation. Okay, in all kind of industries. Because H3C, we are a company. Okay, providing a very good digital solutions to all kind of like industry. So regarding what you talk about the SME, you are right. A lot of company afraid like the money I need to spend. What is digitalization? What I'm going to do, right? Okay, to improve my business process by means of digitalization. You also mentioned about the Malaysian government already invest a lot, right? And try to, encourage the SME to adopt this kind of like process.
Yep.
But somehow, not very good. So that's why I would like to take this opportunity to give a very, very simple concept to understand. What is it? Digitalization is just your application run on top of a digital platform. Finish.
No, but okay, how would you explain it to like a coffee shop owner? So a lot of small businesses, they see, okay, you know what, I'm doing okay. I don't really need to digitalize. I don't need like a server or whatever. And a lot of people think like, okay, it's all this complicated technology that it's not really going to benefit my business. So how are you going to take them to the next step? How do you pitch to like a kopi tiam shop? Like, hey, you need to digitalize.
Don't talk about the technology first. This is what H3C, we always emphasize. Application driven. We always talk about, okay, what is your application? Why you need it, right? Just like a coffee shop, okay? So, of course, you cannot digitalize a coffee, right? You have to drink, ma.
Yeah.
And then you can only digitalize the process. The process means, right, maybe you don't need a lot of like a waiter or waitress. So, in terms of the order process, you can let the customer to scan the QR code, ma, and then make the order. Digitalization can simplify the process, but we need to understand what is the benefit behind. Why you need to digitalize? Even a small coffee shop, even a small shop, right? Do you consider about how many people in a day, in a week, or in a month, what kind of product that they sell the most? What is the time for customer spending in your shop, in average? Actually, there are a lot of like a data behind. Digitalization is talking about accumulating a lot of like a useful data. And then you can analyze and you can think about how to improve your business. Long time ago, when you do a business, can you do forecast? How you forecast? how you forecast your business next month.
You use your heart,
Use your feeling.
Yes.
Direct.
your guts.
And most of the people's feeling always wrong. And that's why, I'm quite, a scientific guy.
Yeah.
I always make decision based on data.
Mm.
I don't make decision based on feeling. Because like for market, like HVC, we invest in Malaysian market because we analyze the data. We see there's a good market adoption about the digital technology. So that's why, we set up our office here. We build up the ecosystem here. We work with our partners to promote our digital technology to all kind of like industries.
Yeah.
So this is what we are doing.
So, I mean, you talk about adoption, right? So, I mean, we just got out of a very difficult phase in all of our lives. I'm talking about the pandemic. It was during the pandemic that a lot of people thought, hey, to take my business to the next step, to be able to reach out to more people, I am going to digitalize. And to a lot of people, digitalization means opening a Facebook account or Instagram account. And doing business there. If they have WhatsApp, it's digitalized. Oh. From your experience, right? So I'm sure you've managed to convert a number of businesses. I mean, your pitch saying that data is important already makes me want to open my own coffee shop to see what kind of business or data I can produce from there. What do you see? What do you see as the success rate in terms of adoption in the country? And what is the scale?
In terms of the scale, right? We have to understand first SME. They really have difficulties, to invest a lot of money. Technology, frankly speaking, not cheap.
Yeah.
And then the way we propose, our digital solution to SME is, we work with our ecosystem partner. Say, for example, we have what we call the partners to build a platform that can serve most of the people. Imagine, already like Alibaba in China, they build a platform that can serve most of the SME can do the business there. I think in Malaysia, there's also a lot of like a platform, e-platform, right? That all the SME can enjoy. I can see a lot of like a restaurant in Malaysia. They may sharing, the same platform behind, talking about the ordering system, scanning the QR code, right? Actually, all these kind of like a digitalization, they have what we call the service provider to provide. I mean, this is one of the very simple way to let all the SME to adopt, the digitalization. And of course, HVC, we are a solution provider in terms of building the platform and then work with our ecosystem partner to provide, the solution to them.
So essentially, you're like a one-stop shop.
Yes or no? Because, like right now, everybody say a one-stop shop, every people want like a trouble-free. When they deploy a technology, they want to find one single person to solve all your problems.
Yes.
So this is a wish, frankly speaking. I can see a lot of like companies or like a digital solution company, they try to position themselves, say, you call me and then I solve all your problem. But frankly speaking, very difficult. Because digital world, I mean, digital solution, technology change every day. Yeah. Even our company, we have around like 19,000 people and 50% of them are R&D. We develop a lot of technology, but we still cannot cover everything.
Yeah.
So this is the challenge. But of course, the way we approach the market is we build what we call the scenario-based application, just like I talked to you about the application-driven. That means we need to be very specific in the industry and understand the industry requirement. Just like you mentioned the coffee shop, right? The coffee shop, what is your most concern to plan your business? Say, for example, I'm concerned about the customer, the time spending in my shop, the food they order. So all this data is very important. And how can I store this data? You must have a cloud platform behind, right? You must have some technology, of course, with a very innovative application. I give you an analogy. Say, for example, what we are doing right now is a platform, like a restaurant. You need to build a kitchen. We provide you a kitchen. And then the kitchen with different kind of tools. Then you can cook different kind of food. And then you require different kind of tools. Yeah. So we try to make our tools very specific, and customized to a very specific scenario. So this is what we are doing. And then we think we can benefit most of the industry. Of course, we cannot say, all the detail industry or particular industry, we can satisfy.
Also, right now, because Malaysia, right, the government has announced a load of incentives to get people to digitalize. They give a lot of grants, they give a lot of incentives to boost digitalization among small business owners. Can you share what are the key initiatives that the government has announced, and what's the adoption rate right now in Malaysia? How many SMEs have taken up the offer from the government?
I read in other statistics last year from SME Corp. It's not a very, positive result. Talking about like 77% of the SME. Of course, they have the definition of the SME.
Yeah.
Talking about the SME is talking about like annual revenue below like 20 million ringgit. And talking about like full-time staff, should be below like 75. Around 75. So this is they define about the SME. So SME 77%. They are just doing very basic and simple digitalization. Means they may like using some kind of like a POS, to simplify like the payment or whatever. So they may use like as I said, the digital menu. So they use this kind of thing And 21% never do it. Nothing about like to digitalize their process.
So it's
totally manual.
Yeah.
From the report, yes.
Wow.
So let's say if you're pitching to me, right? So I'm maybe like the 21%. My business is totally manual. I'm doing okay. But I feel like okay, I wanna improve, right? What would be the first step? What do I even need to consider? Where do I even start?
Oh, this is a very, very good question.
Yeah.
And I think this is a very difficult question to answer because of different business, different expectations.
Yes. Sorry, and I want to interrupt. Sorry, I'm sorry for the interruption. Because why am I asking this question and why I think it's important is because for any business owner, they want to do the best and provide the best. If we talk about like warehousing or even if you own a coffee shop, right? When you wanna provide the best, you go into this what I would think like a rabbit hole where, okay, I'm gonna get the coffee. What kind of coffee I'm gonna get? Who's the supplier? I'm gonna get the coffee machine. Okay, what's the best coffee machine I'm gonna get? If I'm gonna get every single material, I will go into the details. So for digitalization, if that journey is the same for me, if I want to produce a product like a coffee drink, I would think that if I wanted to digitalize my business, it's so easy for me to just get lost inside that rabbit hole. It can start from a POS system to automation to data, to robot delivery machines. I mean, where do I start? Where do I stop? And how much do I need?
I would like to recommend those users where you have this kind of like questions or you don't know what to do. Try to think about, in two different ways. The first part you need to think about, is the process. The second part is about, the data you need.
Yeah.
I think this is very important. I mean, digital, everybody know already, it's a 0 and 1, 1 and 0. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
So it's just a computer. But what we are going to do right now in terms of digitalization is first of all, the process. How we are going to fine-tune the process in terms of how you reach your customer, how you improve your efficiency. So all this you can consider and you analyze. And the second part is to think about what data that you need so that you can plan ahead of your business. So how you grow your business, how you improve your business. Remember, no direct feeling. You need data. So that's why when you try to digitalize your business, try to think in these two dimensions. And then later we will talk about the technology, how we can help you, say for example, to get the data into the platform. And then with some intelligence, why HVC, we always emphasize on the AI. And AI, everybody knows already.
That's another buzzword. That will get people scared. AI is going to be so expensive.
Right now, AI is free. You know the ChatGPT. This is another hot topic right now. Either you pay money or you don't need to pay money. You just go to the website and then you can do a lot of things.
But sometimes the thing that you don't pay money is not so good lah. That's the reason why you pay money, right?
Of course, this technology technology company make money. If I give you a little bit like advantage, and then you get familiar, then I will start to charge you. So this is the way. And as I said, this 2 dimension is very important. Then I would like to give my comment or my advice to those SME. When you think about how to improve your the digitalization, how to improve your business, try to go into this 2 dimension. And this will help you to analyze and to think about the right action plan to take.
Yeah. I think that's very good because that reminded me, because I always advise people similar but in a different way. I keep telling them like the technology is the easiest thing to buy solutions. And for example, if you want to set up a studio, right? To buy the cameras is the easiest. You just need to spend money. To buy the equipment is the easiest. The most difficult is how to use it and how to get good at it.
Why to use it.
And why to use it.
That's why everything, when we start with, right, we talk about the application driven.
Yeah.
If I talk about our company, some of the solution we are right now promoting in Malaysia, we are also helping some like education customer, like government departments, how to digitalize their ICT infrastructure. So normally we will talk about the software-defined network. If you can digitalize your infrastructure, that means you can monitor and control and analyze all the user behavior within like the enterprise environment. Why this is important? Because we never talk about the technology first. We talk about the application first. We talk about the user requirement first. And then once this is well defined, right, this is your need. Then we will face in, talking about our technology. What technology you should use? A lot of people will fall into dilemma because they just like AI. I want AI. You want AI for what, right? Actually, there are so many AI technology. You want to AI, analyze your face, analyze your behavior. So this is a different topic. You cannot say, I want to analyze everything. And no one can do it.
You got to define a parameter, right?
Exactly. That's why there are so many like a business consultant, industry expert. We need to understand, the industry trend or whatever. How do you know the industry trend? If you don't have the data, how do you know? How do you persuade, your users, the customers say, this is the trend. Right now, when I talk about the Malaysian market, I always, have some kind of like industry research report. When we come into Malaysian market, of course, we can see, in the ICT market, in the digitalisation market, so, what is the trend? We can see right now, this is another good news, at least, from the equipment perspective, is increasing. That means talking about like the server, storage, devices, whatever. In terms of the market size in Malaysia, is blooming, is growing. Maybe that kind of technology deployed in some area that some of the user will experience, but the SME not start yet. So that's why I still can see a big growth in terms of like this digital solution area.
You talk about servers. I think one of the like really popular so aside from AI, one of the other discussion when people talk about digitalization is server, right? So when you talk about data, you're talking about predicting how much stock you need to order, when you need to order it, and where you need to deliver it, how fast, and what your customers are. You need data. And a lot of people talk about cloud solutions, and one of the popular ones is AWS. Is that something necessary? Is that something like you really need to invest in? What is your advice in your perspective?
You are talking about a lot of like technical terms.
Yes.
Cloud, AWS.
Yes. I say that because and it's good to have somebody that's doing this, right? Because from my perspective, and when you have a discussion with somebody that's really not do not have enough of the knowledge or really only trying to start, it's very easy to get lost in the jargon and be impressed by all these words. Like, we talk about solutions, integration, AI, cloud computing, big data. This is all going to make your business so much better.
That is my company always mention about. We are the leader in terms of the digital solution. We are spending a lot of money in R&D, talking about the AI, cloud computing, all these kind of things. You also mentioned about the AWS.
Yes.
Actually, when we talk a lot of things, right? just going back to the fundamentals that I share with you, I mean,
Yeah.
digitalization is not complicated. It's just a platform together with your application. A digital platform with your digital applications. Either your company invest, or you buy it, or you rent it, okay, on a like a leasing term or whatever,
Yeah.
or like a monthly usage kind, okay, from a service provider. The concept is not complicated. It's just a matter of like why you need it and how you use it. So just going back, okay, to what I mentioned, it's not complicated. For us, we are always offering our digital platform to all kind of like what we call the ISP, Internet Service Provider.
Yeah.
And right now, in the market, in the trend, so many ISP established. Some ISP, they may focusing in the like what we call the customer, end users, consumer market. Some company, okay, they will build their platform to serve the company, what we call the B2B or B2C, this kind of term.
Yeah.
Then a lot of companies right now, they are building different kind of platforms to serve different kind of customer.
Yeah.
SME, as you mentioned, is a huge market. A lot of companies, they have the demand. Their requirement is a little bit different. All different industry, all different company, all different shops, their requirement all different. And the challenge is right now is how the application and the platform can build, and I can serve most of the people, then I will win, okay, in this competition.
Yeah, that's a very good insight. I think we should talk about like, so I'm sure you've had a lot of experience in terms of deploying all these solutions to different kind of SMEs and all that stuff, right? Among all of the SMEs that you've deployed, do you have one that is your favorite, one that is the best in terms of adopting all this technology? Like your best example of a digital advocate?
I cannot say this SME. If you share a case, okay, in a university in Malaysia, is talking about another digital transformation or digitalization process in terms of the way they do the teaching.
Yeah.
Long time ago, okay, this university, I can name it because I think they okay this talk about University Malaysia Pahang. Long time ago, they are conducting some of the computer courses. They need to buy some software license externally and then install into the individual computers and let the students to use it.
Yep.
And then they found a problem. The problem is, how can I maintain a computer room with 40 separate silo computers, install the software separately, and when the student play around with the computers, they will do whatever they can, very innovative, and make the system very messy. And then next class, then people come, right?
Yeah.
Wow, who is going, okay, to clean up everything, and then I can do my class, right?
Yeah.
This is their pain point. And then they talk to us, then we introduce them, okay, what we call the VDI technology, virtual desktop infrastructure, means all the computers, physical computers in the computer room, no more. All the physical computers become a virtual computers sitting into the server room. So all the students in the computer room, right, they just use what we call the virtual desktop. Virtual desktop means they can use whatever devices or even what we call a thumb terminal and connect a monitor and keyboard, right?
Yep.
And I can do, okay, all the learning using the software like computer graphics or whatever. And this virtual environment can be happened in any of the lecture room in the university.
Wow.
So that they can flexibly use the resources that they built and serve different group of like students in the university. So this is one of the case we are talking about like digitalization, not always talking about like a business, but somehow, in terms of the education, we always have like a different story, okay, in terms of the digitalization.
I think that's very interesting. It's really interesting to see that, because that's a good example. Even though you mentioned that it's a university, the methodology is what you talked about. Find a problem and then talk to H3C to figure out what the solution is. And then H3C will figure out what the technology is that's required to develop that solution. Am I correct in understanding that?
Exactly, 100%. Just like you talk about the SME,
Yep.
I cannot tell their problem.
Yep.
I'm not the expert.
Yeah.
I'm not the expert. I'm not in the industry expert.
Yeah.
They need to tell me What's your pain point?
Mm.
So normally we will try to approach like this. Okay, when I talk to the customers, when I talk to my partners, right?
Yeah.
Every day you got a lot of like questions, problems, whatever, and then you need to bring to us, and then we will think about, okay, what kind of technology that can apply.
Mm.
So that's why, as I mentioned, our vision is talking about application driven. If no application, no requirement, how can I drive the technology? If we are talking about technology driven, it's totally wrong from my perspective.
Yes.
Rockies, I want to come back to the 21% of SMEs who are not adopting digital solutions. Maybe can you share like what are the challenges faced by these SMEs? Why are they not adopting, or why are they resisting to adopt these solutions?
I do believe these kind of SME, they are very focusing on their business.
Mm.
I mean, somehow, if say, okay, you are very expert in a certain area.
Yeah.
I ask you to learn about like IT technology, right? Are you going to learn? Very difficult.
Yeah. It's going to take time away from my business. I need to make money. I don't have time to learn all this.
Yeah, if you are like doing like a trading business,
Yeah.
then you need to look around, okay, the products, the merchandise,
Yeah.
and then how are you going to spend time to understand about the technology, how you do the web design, these kind of things, right? So I think this is a really big challenge.
Yeah.
And then it's not easy to solve. I think to drive this, this is talking about the whole ecosystem to drive together, not a single people effort. HVC long time ago, okay, we are in the industry and we always emphasize the importance of the digital transformation and the digitalization. So that's why we keep on doing the approach, talking about like education customers, educating partners, building the ecosystem and driving this happen. So all these SME, of course, money issue, technology know-how, or some kind of like a fears to use. All these are like a human factors. And I do believe based on the education, based on the influence, okay, from the overall market, I do believe, okay, all these SME will take this kind of like a digitalization process very soon.
So it's kind of like more like a peer pressure. If they can see the competitors, hey, why are they doing this differently? Then eventually they will adopt these solutions. Interesting.
So, Rockies, I think throughout this session, right, you've really put in a lot of like really useful nuggets for somebody that is apprehensive to go into a digital, not a digital business, but to adopt digitalization in their business. And I like that you mentioned that think about the problem first before you think about the technology, because the technology is the easy part. Knowing the problem and solving the problem, that's the challenge. So before we end the show, right, is there what would be the thing that you wanna like really impart onto business owners out there, so that they feel better in terms of making the decision to go digital?
First of all, as I mentioned, this is not a very scary process. It's just a very normal, just like every day we have a coffee, taking like lunch or dinner. Digitalization is not that complicated. You mentioned already, understand, okay, what you need, and then find a right partner that can help you. Partner means, okay, the right technology partner. I think this is very good in Malaysia. There are so many ecosystem partners we have already built, but not just H3C. I mean the whole like digital solution industry. So get the right technology partner is very important.
Yeah.
And then the technology partner, okay, not to oversell, okay, the technology to you. They must listen to your demand, your requirement before they propose. If someone come to you and say, okay, this is the technology you use, then you can improve your business, then you need to think about this first. And then you say, okay, if you talk about, okay, say, this is my requirement, and then the partner come back to you say, okay, this is a requirement, and then I will tell you what you have to do, and then to meet your requirement and improve your process, then this is much more reliable.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, if somebody comes to you and starts selling you POS and start selling you AI solutions and all that, you have wait.
Hold up.
That's
Do I need this first?
I don't want to talk to you about this right now. But if somebody comes to you and say, okay, what is the problem that you're facing? Is it during Chinese New Year that you always run out of stock? People always cannot buy something from you? Then I think we can help you.
Exactly. So right now, because Hari Raya coming,
Yes.
okay, and then there will be a lot of like business opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good time, okay, for us to think about this year, you still do your business, maybe like last year. Then what happened next year?
Yeah.
Maybe you need to get some insight, some idea how to adopt some new technology. So sometimes don't just afraid about the technology. Try to listen some other like as Alex mentioned, the peers, some other like companies, no matter your competitors or your friends or whatever, what they are doing right now, and then how this process can put into my business and improve it. I think this is also a very important point. Okay, to all those business owners.
Sounds really good. So thank you very much, Rocky, for that really insightful information on. I think for me, after I hear what you're telling me, right, as if I'm a business owner, I'll go like, hey, actually, it's not that difficult to go into to take my business digital.
Yeah, and then I'm okay. They call me for a talk.
All right. So on that note, we're pretty much done. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nothing to add. I think all crystal clear. I think Rocky's really nailed everything up that we need to ask today.
Okay, so that's my cue to remind you that we're available on podcast. So if you want to listen to us while you're driving or while you're having coffee at your shop, you can listen to us on any of your favorite podcast platforms. We're there. Just search for Let's Talk About Soya Chin Chow and we're there. If you're listening to us on a podcast, give us a 5-star rating because that helps the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And most importantly, your comments, questions, and suggestions. We have Rockies here. I'm sure we'll be able to send any questions related to adoption of digital technologies in small and medium businesses to him so that he can answer. So, use that opportunity to drop questions and get an expert to answer them for you. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear your suggestions. Also, if you're listening to us on podcasts, we'd love to hear your voice notes as well. You can drop them at
Let's Talk About at soyachinchow.com.
And that's pretty much it. This is me, Amin.
This is Alex.
And catch you guys later. Bye.